Hi guys, good morning wherever you are. I hope you're having a good day. So I'm on my way to work, and I was just thinking about something that I was doing recently and I wasn't able to do it. And I was thinking about how I felt like a failure afterwards. I felt like I had failed. But on second thoughts, I realized that it wasn't something that I could control. It was out of my control. So I decided to make this video now on my way to work, just impromptu, just to get my thoughts out of my head. So if you're watching this and you feel like a failure, I want to tell you today that you are not a failure. Okay, you are not a failure. Failure, I think, is part of life for everyone. There's no one who hasn't failed at something, but that means that everyone has succeeded at something, right? So if you failed at something, you've definitely succeeded at something. And I think sometimes we lose sight of that. And we need to, like they say, count your blessings sometimes. So you need to come up with, think about the things that you have actually succeeded at, no matter how small it is. Okay, and let that comfort you. So is it, for example, being in a relationship, a friendship? That's success. Waking up in the morning and getting dressed to go to work or wherever, that's success. Even if you have a certificate in something, that's success. So we have all succeeded in something and we have all failed at something. Now, if you are focusing on your failures, then you would lose sight of your wins. And that's very sad. Okay, that's a sad way to live, I think. I believe that everyone should be able to focus on their wins. And I think that everyone would feel better if we did so. If we also look at failure as a learning process, I think that's another way to get over it, because the fact that we have failed means that we can then go back, evaluate things and see if we can fix it. We can't always fix everything, right? But there are some things that we can fix. And if it's within our abilities, we can do our best, because that's all we need to do. We just need to try. Okay, so if you're failing and you're trying, at least you're trying. And I think that life is not worth living if we're not trying. Otherwise it's just makes no sense, right? So just try, fix what you can, and learn to accept what you can't fix. And I try to do that. It doesn't always work, but I try my best. I try my best to do that. So another reason why you might think that you're a failure, and I would like you to stop thinking that way, is because we usually measure ourselves against unrealistic expectations. Okay, we see things, or we see people on the internet, or people around us, succeeding at things that we wish we would be able to succeed at. And then when we can't, we're like really disappointed in ourselves, and we take that as a sign that we are failures. But that's not it, because it's different for everyone. Everyone's journey in life is different. We don't always get to the same destinations, and we don't get there at the same time. So for example, I remember thinking to myself how terrible it was, the fact that I finished university late, compared to my friends, because I had a life event that happened to me, and I had to pause my education for a while. And I thought I was a failure, because everybody else seemed to be moving on with their lives. But now I'm older and I'm wiser, and I can kind of see where I am and see where they are. And in the end, it's either we are in the same place, or maybe I'm better than some. Okay, I don't mean to brag, but it's just a reality. Or maybe they're better than me, but it doesn't really matter, because in life we are all on the same journey, but on different paths, right? And we shouldn't compare ourselves to other people, because that's where we start feeling like we fall short, right? And that's where we start feeling like a failure. So if you don't want to feel like a failure, don't compare yourself to others, and keep in mind your small wins. Doesn't matter how small they are, but they are your wins, right? And you can be happy in that. also, I'd like you to know that you are not alone, okay? In whatever you're trying to do, someone usually has tried to do it before, okay? If we take something like YouTube, for example, many people who have succeeded on YouTube didn't succeed on the first day. They tried and they tried again, okay? And that's it. Don't give up. Do not give up, except when, of course, there's nothing else you can do to change the situation and you're just like, okay, this is not for me. But you have to know when it's not for you and when it's time to move on, and just don't live in the past, you know? So if it didn't work out, it didn't work out. Leave it in the past and move on. You know, we can't dwell in the past. Life is, most of the things we do now is for the future, not for the past, you know? So don't forget, because you have to learn, okay? But put the past where it belongs, in the past, and move forward. Give yourself time to grieve. Give yourself time to feel self-pity, if that helps, okay? But then you have to know when to stop. You have to know when to pick yourself up and move on, okay? So I'm here to tell you today that you're not a failure, okay? You are trying your best, and your best is good enough, all right? And you can make it, okay? Okay, so like I was saying, I think it's important that we identify ourselves first of all, and we identify the things that make us feel like we have failed, okay? Because sometimes maybe we just don't need those things in our lives. Sometimes perhaps we sometimes focus on things that are not important, okay? And by doing so, we end up failing, okay? Or things that are beyond our scope, because I don't think that everyone's perfect or that everyone has the ability to do every single thing, okay? Yes, it is good to have self-confidence. It is good to try out new things, but we are not always good at new things, and we have to know that, and we have to acknowledge it, and we have to be able to live with it. We don't need to be perfect, okay? We don't need to be perfect. We just need to be able to try and to live in the process, okay? So I really hope that this video has helped you. I really hope that with this video I'm able to encourage you and to motivate you and to help you deal with your failure, whatever the failure it is that you're going through right now, whatever it might be. I hope that with this video, with this message, that you can feel better about yourself, okay? Let me know. So see you in the next video.